everyone. Welcome to the fall 2021 enrollment video. We're going to walk through the process for high school coaches on getting signed up and getting their players enrolled. So the first step is going to be to go to PlayVS.com. As you can see on the screen here, there's the option to log in if you have already gone through this, or sign up. Now, the first thing it's going to ask you is to enter your email and password. It's okay to enter either your personal or work because we will ask you for the alternate in just a few steps here. Now, once the account is created, it will ask you for your name and date of birth. Continuing from there, you're going to be asked to join your school. Now, this is an important step to make sure that you do fall into our high school league, since we do have both a youth and collegiate league as well. So in this step, you will select join your school, and it will ask you if you are a student or faculty member. This is important because students also have to walk through this sign up process. So make sure they are actively working on that while you are as well. So in this case, we'll select faculty member and the school type high school. Continuing from there, we'll narrow down the search options by selecting our state. If you don't see your as you're going through the search results here, feel free to click add a new school. This will allow you to input all the information necessary to create your school, but please take the time to search to make sure it is not already existing. So we will scroll down, make our selection. If it is existing, it'll give you some detail about how many coaches are currently verified, players, as well as how many teams are created. So from there, we'll hit continue. This is really just to get more information about you, no dependencies on what type of permissions you'll have from this selection. So whatever one applies to you, please check that box to continue on. Now, whether or not you'll be coaching will have different permissions in the system. So if you're coaching, please make sure to check this so you have the ability to manage the teams, verify the players, and do all the necessary administrative tasks to get your enrollment completed. If maybe you're just an administrator hoping to get the program started, thank you so much for getting it started. You'll have the opportunity to invite your coaches, and it's a great first step to making sure that progress is being made on getting your PlayVS account set up. So we'll select yes, we'll be coaching in this case, which will move to what is a verification component. Now, as I mentioned, high school coaches are required for our high school league. So we do need to verify your employment to make sure you are in fact an employee at the school. And as I mentioned as well, this will ask for the secondary email. So in the case this was a personal email, I will now input my work. And continue. Now the verification is pending. We do use a third-party provider that helps us do this quickly. In the case that yours is not done quickly, say maybe you're a new employee and they don't have your information just yet, you can have another coach verify you, which we'll look at in a minute here. Or you can wait for our support staff that are doing daily manual verifications to get that verified for you. Now, once you log in, you're going to land on a dashboard. Now, there's a few things going on here. Specifically jumping out at us are these black banners that are actionable items to make sure that we are reviewing and completing these to progress with our enrollment tasks. But first thing I want to call out is your account page. So we do have an awesome referral program that gets coaches $500 in the case that they can refer a new school and that school participates for at least the first 2 weeks of the season. You will be rewarded with $500. So please utilize these referral links to make sure we can track that appropriately. Next, here's your account settings. So you'll want to walk through this and just get your accounts connected. And if you need to change a password, you'll come here. And this is important for students as well. So they'll want to be connecting their game accounts in this area, while the coaches will maybe just want to connect their Discord, up to you on account connectivity, but for students, it is required. Now back to the dashboard here, you're going to see, again, we have these calls to action as well as a task bar. So as you're making progress in these items, so for example, we're now a verified employee, that task is complete. Second, downloading the coach handbook, which is an incredible resource for our coaches, and so forth. So these will get checked off as you're going through. So the first thing we want to do, and the most important, is start to get our players and our coaches, whether they be assistant coaches or co-coaches, into the system. So whether or not you click review or my school on this left pane navigation, you will navigate to the same area, which is our ability to review these. So under manage players, I will have 3 buckets, one that is pending. So Monica has signed up in the way we just walked through previously, but in the student path, to where I can now verify or deny her as a student at my school. Now, once I am doing the verification, this sort of second bucket will start to populate with verified players that are now available for me to add to teams. And then finally, the denied players. So if someone happened to accidentally select your school during their sign up process, you can simply deny them. They will fall down here. If you find you've made an error in doing that, you do have the dots over here to change that decision. Now, another call out is if you're not getting the players signed up at the rate you'd like to, you can ping them with these invites, whether it be for players or coaches. Shoot them a quick email reminder that they need to sign up so they can be added to the teams. Now for coaches, similar 3 buckets. We have the pending coaches that need to be verified, which will get the same access that you have as a verified coach. Approved is just going to show me who I've approved, and denied who I've denied. Now from there, we have all the necessary tools we need to start enrollment. So the next step is the next tab on the navigation on the left here, which is manage teams. Now you'll notice I have a lot of teams from last school year that I have carried over, but this is the fall 2021 enrollment page. So depending on if you want to reuse these teams or not, you will see them left over here. You'll simply have to remove the players if you want to remove the team, and then either hide it or delete it. But if we want to create a new team, you'll see the right navigation here is going to allow us to navigate correctly to the title we want to create the team for. So if I'm looking to make a Smite team, I will select Smite, hit create new team, create a team name, submit, and then I'll sort of get this blank canvas where I can start to add players to the team. So that will be the next step, to add a player, which is going to populate my verified student list we just created while doing verifications. So Monica here, and please take note that different titles have different positions. So you'll want to recognize the position and make sure you're adding the correct player based on what they're good at. So I will go through and make these selections. You'll also notice in the game account column, the red X next to the indicator of whether or not they're connected. This is again referencing back to the fact that the players do in fact have to connect their credentials for the game in their PlayVS account. So once they have completed that task, this will change to be a green check and they will be ready for game day. Now, the next tab here is our bench tab. So just like traditional sports, you'll have a starting team and you'll have a bench of substitutes. So adding a sub here is again going to be from my verified players list. And I can add as many substitutes as I have starting players. So for Smite, that would mean 5 substitutes possible. For Rocket League, that would mean 3, etc. So adding as many subs as you need there, up to 5 in this case. Now for coaches, if you have multiple coaches, we want to make sure that on game day, your opposing team does have the information that's particularly relevant to this team's coach. So rather than a long list of coaches, you can assign a coach to this team and make sure that they are the ones that are referenced to the opposing coach if the need to reach out comes up. Now, this is the same process for all titles. So you'll just go through each one individually, adding your teams, adding your coaches. And then once you're finished, you will come up here to begin fall 2021 enrollment. which will take us to sort of like a menu page where you'll have all of your teams that you've created available for enrollment. So in this case, I'm going to register my Rocket League teams. I go down, I have my Smite team I just created. So as many or as little as teams as you need to register, you can go through and check those off. And then you'll simply hit complete fall 2021 enrollment.